Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I got a recommendation to share my biggest tips on wearing a dark lip. Now, every time I get those kind of questions like, how do I pull off of this and how do I pull off of that? You pull it off by wearing it out. That's the only way you pull it off. And so for me, it's more like, okay, let me figure out how I can help you guys feel confident when you're wearing a dark lip or you're wearing a red lip or whatever the case is. I'll give you guys some tricks to hopefully keep away from some of the pitfalls that you might fall into that make it impossible to wear a dark lip. Tips on how to apply the lip color to be super perfect and make you pull off any dark lip. So if you want to see my tips, then keep watching. For my primer, I'm using the Loreal Spackle. I just can't stop using it. Especially when you're wearing, like, I think I said this before, definitely have. When you're wearing like a heavier duty foundation, something that's long lasting or full coverage, this will help your skin not look so dry. For my foundation, I'm using the Loreal. These are honestly, Loreal has like the best foundations, I think. This is the Pro GLow and the Pro Matte. I'm mixing them both. This is in 208 and 108 and 209. Tiny bit of the 209 just for the glow properties of it. Using my black beauty blender to blend that all out. When you're wearing a dark lip, I think the most important part is to have like really clean, perfect skin, because the lip is going to look so striking and so clean and like precise that if everything else looks sloppy, it just shows a little bit more. For my concealer, I'm using the Loreal Pro Conceal, and this one's in the color Pure Beige. Pretty sure I saw online they came out with new like correctors. They came out with like a light peach and light yellow. Yeah, I kind of want to try those. So for me, whenever I'm wearing a dark lip, I try not to make it my face super light. I try to always add some like, you know, bronzer and stuff like that, but especially with concealer, I don't want my concealer to look super light, so I usually stick to a color that's like more like my skin color, because otherwise it looks a little too white when I have that dark lip contrasting. It's just a tip if you're into it. I'm also going to put a little bit of that on my eyelids as my base, because I'm not going to do too much with my lids. I'm going to use this guy. This is the Wet n Wild Contour Palette, and it's in the color Caramel Toffee. Actually, I'm going to use it underneath my eyes and on my lids. It's just more going to set than add any color. And then I'm going to set my lids. When I'm doing a dark lip, you can go with it two ways. You can go with like a smoky kind of subtle eye, or you can do like an angled liner with lashes. The bronzer I'm using on my crease is the Nars LAGUNA bronzer. It really doesn't matter what bronzer you use, just whatever bronzer you like are using on your face, if it's too dark or too light. But I like using bronzers on my crease because usually it kind of ties in with the bronzer that I'm using, and it makes the look kind of come together a little bit nicer. I'm going to brush that on my lids as well, just as a base for the next color I'm going to use. I personally like dark lips with like a cool tone eyes shade. It's a look that I did with my Shea Mitchell kind of comparison video, and the color that I'm going to be using is 206. It's by Kiko. I'm just going to use a white fluffy brush to get on the tops. This is just more like a layer over the eyes. It's not really meant to be like an eye look. Really, you're just like this is actually a really good look to like go from day to night. That's pretty much all I'm going to do with the eyes, and I'm going to add some mascara. I think I'm going to do waterproof today because I want them to stay curly and big. I'm not going to do lashes this time. I'm going to add some more of that dark color underneath my lash line. You want to be careful because this is very glittery. Just to add a little bit of smokiness. I always think that a little smoky eye with a dark lip, I think it looks good. I mean, some people like to just do nothing on the eyes and a dark lip. This is how I like to wear. Okay, the mascara I'm going to be using is my Volumunous Black mascara from L'Oreal. This one's in waterproof. Oh, this mascara is so good. I always forget how good it is. Alright, I'm going to fill in my brows with the Anastasia powder. This one's in dark brown. I'm going to clean up my brows with whatever foundation I have left on my palette because I think it needs a crisp line. With a dark lip, one of the most important things to do is to add bronzer because the deep lip is going to make your skin naturally look pale because it's a big contrast between the dark lip and your skin tone. I'm going to add the bronzer from Benefit. This is Hoola bronzer. It's a really great bronzer. I add some of that with my e.l.f. brush. And especially when you're wearing like a cool toned eye, you definitely want to add some bronzer. I'm going to skip out on blush today. I don't think that it needs it. I like to add a little bit more bronzer on my cheek area just so it kind of ties it all together. I think these other tips for the lips are going to help. So one thing I would recommend is to use a liquid lipstick if you're wearing a dark lip. The reason I say that is because it won't smudge and smear throughout the day. If you're not used to wearing lipstick every single day, you might accidentally smudge it and then it's much messier to clean up and it's like very frustrating throughout the day. So if you have that available to you, try to wear a liquid lipstick. It just makes everything so much easier. It also helps with the lip lining process. If you're wearing a regular lipstick, a couple things I think would be beneficial to you is to not use concealer that's lighter than you to line the perimeter of your lips. Try to use your foundation for that. Too many times that lightness and then the darkness is way too big of a contrast and it doesn't match your skin. It looks really obvious and you try to clean it up. So I would recommend using a foundation, the foundation that you use in your face, to clean up the edges if you need to. But I try to stay away from that foundation concealer method altogether. Okay, if you're wearing a lipstick, here are my suggestions. Okay, the first thing is use a lip liner. So also, obviously, make sure it's sharp. It's going to help so much more if your lip line is nice and sharp because it's going to make the line extremely neat. So I'm going to use this lip liner. It's Current from MAC. You can really get these anywhere. Honestly, I have like majority of them, the ones that I have are NYX, Jordana, even Color, Coastal Scents. All of these work really well. The NYX ones are really good too. But I just happen to not have used this in a while, so I'm going to use this guy. You don't have to do a one line the way the girls on Instagram do. Don't feel like you have to do that at all. Make sure that your lips are dry. Not dried out, but just like away from all of that shiny lip gloss that you prepped your lips with, or lip chapstick. Just use small edges throughout the application. You don't have to do one straight line. The other thing to do is try to stretch out your lips a little bit by smiling or stretching out the lips because you want to get in those fine lines if you have fine lines in your lips. Take a look at your lips from afar. Obviously, if you've etched in a little bit more, it's going to look uneven, but try to focus on the perimeters. You can always fill in your entire lip with the lip liner. Okay, now that my lips are lined, I feel confident that the lip line is perfect, so I'm going to add my lipstick. What I'm using today is by MAC. It's called Media. It looks like this guy. I haven't used this in a while. A huge no-no is to like do one of these where you like smush your lips together. Do not do that. Naturally, almost everybody, top lip and bottom lips, they're not symmetrical, so they're not going to line up perfectly. And what they'll do, especially because you have a cupid's bow on the top and most likely the bottom is a little bit curved, what you're going to do is just going to mess up the whole lip line. You're going to mess up all the lip line that you did. So if you want to smear the tops and the bottoms, say ma ma ma, ma ma ma, very lightly. Don't smudge it, don't mush them together. That's literally like the worst thing you could do. I've had my fair share of bridesmaids do that and I'm like, oh, what did you do? Just the lips don't line up the way they're supposed to, and that's just the worst way to do it. If you're wearing chapstick, that's perfect because you have to really work it into your lips. Unless you're wearing just chapstick, it's a really bad idea to do with a dark lip. This is the last thing you want to make sure you do. Look in the mirror, make sure that you don't look too pale. Once that lipstick is on, it's going to make you look a little bit more pale. So if you need to, add more bronzer at that point. This is the point where a lot of girls will do like concealer right here and right here. While it adds a cool contrast and it makes it look very sharp, the contrast is a little bit too big. If you want to clean it up in the edges, try to use foundation, the same foundation you use in your skin. It's going to match a little bit better, and it's not going to be so obvious that you cleaned up your edges. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Highlighter. Why would I do that? Add highlighter. It makes your skin look good. Hello, goodbye. Global Glow by MAC. And the other thing too is try to add like a warm highlighter, just to kind of add more warmth to your skin. Alright guys, those are my tips for how to wear a dark lip. You pull it off by actually wearing it out. That's the way you do it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.